Wake Up New Zealand, Sakey speaking. I'd like to talk today about human rights abuses and what it's like to live under Islamic laws. We need to know more about this because, let's face it, our government, Ardern, and her political cronies never talk about it. No other politicians do either, from whatever party. They don't talk about the genocide of Christians, non-Muslims across the world, by the perpetrators being Islamic. No one says a thing about it. It's just silent. No one reports it. And my take on that is that Ardern's trip over to the UN again, this will be about climate change, and I'm sure the topic of climate change refugees will come up, and World Vision are pushing countries such as New Zealand to actually take on climate change refugees from Africa and from the Middle East. So we're going to have more Muslims in this country, and when we have more Muslims in this country, it means that they are going to be looking to bring their own laws here. So we need to be very aware of this. Across the world, there are many human rights violations when it comes to Islamic laws, but today I'm going to talk about Indonesia because they definitely condone punishing gays by 100 lashes, at least 100 lashes, and throwing them in prison and 100 months in jail, yes. So there's murder and extreme cruelty within Islamic laws. So in Indonesia, the bylaws extend to Sharia law or Islamic law for non-Muslims. Even if you're a non-Muslim, you can be criminalised by same-sex sexual acts as well as sexual relationships outside of marriage. The punishment for the criminal code permits up to 100 lashes for the punishment and up to 100 months in prison. People in Indonesia are actually denied their fundamental rights of expression and privacy and freedom of religion. These bylaws apply to Muslims and non-Muslims, mostly Christians and Buddhists. Also, if you're a domestic or international visitor there, you can also be criminalised by breaking these Islamic laws. The Islamic courts also dismiss charges against rape suspects if they take the Islamic oath. This asserts them to their innocence. The Islamic oath provision allows rape suspects who declare their innocence eligible for automatic dismissal of rape charges. Sharia laws infringed on human rights. It's been documented that human rights abuses linked to enforcement of Sharia laws prohibit adultery and imposing public dress requirements on Muslims. So there's no association of couples prior to marriage or opposite sex relationships. So the principles of the Islamic bylaw also impose excessive and discriminatory restrictions on the content of published materials and social media. The media must not undermine Islamic laws. Ethical guidelines are set by the government. Hey, aren't we getting some of this here now? We're talking about stopping global discrimination of Islam. United Nations International Human Rights Treaties, for what they are worth, they are bloody worthless. Protects the rights to privacy, family, freedom of religion, freedom of expression. Yes, freedom of expression. Prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, religion, and other status such as sexual orientation. Prohibits punishments such as whipping that could amount to torture or cruel and inhuman behaviour. There's certainly lots of that going on. In Indonesia, Sharia police arrest and detain people even if they're just suspected of a crime, just to enforce their cruel laws. The United Nations, Jacinda Ardern, her political cronies, and even any other political leader of any other party in Wellington's cesspit, no one ever talks about these things. There's complete silence. So this government is definitely under genocidal denial. They don't talk about the Christians, the non-Muslims, the Buddhists, across the globe, around the globe, who are being murdered. And it continues on, and nothing is being said. Why? Because Ardern and Peters are planning a great invasion of climate change migrants from the Middle East and Africa into New Zealand. These, of course, will be Muslims. There will be more crime. We do have open borders. We have regular and irregular migration, which means legal and illegal. Now we have this digital identification plan for migrants, which are reported errors because it works best on fair-skinned males. Wake up, New Zealand. Ardern and Peters know exactly what they're doing as Ardern heads off to the UN once again. Thank you, people. Wake up. Please wake up now.